morning, everyone. Today, I will discuss the changing landscape of learners, learning environment, methods, and strategies. These topics explain how education has changed over time because of technology, society, and the different needs of learners. I have a question. For your own opinion, what is learning environment? Yes, Karen? Very good. Learning environment, the place where learning happens, include the classroom, home, and online platforms. Consists of teachers, classmates, technology, and learning materials. Learning environment is the place where students learn. Hindi lang ito classroom, kasama rin ang home learning, online classes, libraries, and even community spaces. Mahalaga ang learning environment dahil nakakaapekto ito sa motivation at learning ng student. Changes in the learning environment. Before, traditional classrooms, face-to-face learning, printed books. Now, online and blended learning, digital resources, flexible learning spaces. Mostly face-to-face learning. At gumagamit din tayo ng libro upang makakalap ng information. Pero ngayon, makabago na at mabilis na makakalap ang gusto nating makalap na information dahil meron na tayong teknolohiya na maaari nating magamit sa ating pag-aaral katulad ng ngalan ng smartphone, cellphone, tablet, at marami pang iba na maaari nating magamit at makakatulong sa ating pag-aaral. At marami na ring schools ang gumagamit ng blended learning. Ano nga ba ang blended learning? Ang blended learning, ito ang pinapagsabay na face-to-face classes at online na kung saan gumagamit ng digital tools sa pagpapresent ng topic or sa quizzes at marami pang iba. Kasi makabago na nga tayo at gumagamit na tayo ng teknolohiya ngayon. Ako naman tayo sa learning methods. Meron tayong 7 learning methods at 7 learning strategies. Sa learning methods muna tayo. Number 1, student-centered learning. Students actively participate in lessons while the teachers guides and facilitates. Sa student-centered learning, ang focus ay nasa students. Hindi lang sila nakikinig sa lecture. Kailangan din nila maging active at mag-participate. Kailangan nilang sumagot, magtanong, at gumawa ng activities habang ang teacher ay nagsisilbing guide at nagpapacilitate ng classroom. 2. Collaborative learning. Students work together in groups to share ideas, solve problems, and achieve common goals. Dito, natututo ang student sa pamamagitan ng group activities. Natututo silang makipag-communicate, magpahayag ng sariling opinion, at makinig ng opinion sa iba. At magtulungan para matapos ang isang task. Kasi kaya nga groupings, kailangan magpahayag ang opinion at magbahagi sa ibang grupo. Nang sa gayon, matapos ang pinapagawang activities. 3. Project-based learning. Students learn by completing real-world projects that develop critical thinking and creativity. Sa method na ito, natututo ang student habang gumagawa ng projects na may connection sa totoong buhay. Mas nade-develop ang kanilang creativity at problem-solving skills. 4. Inquiry-based learning. Student gain knowledge by asking questions, investigating, and discovering answer. Parang hinihikayat ang student na maging curious. Sa halip na ibigay agad ang sagot, sila mismong nagsasaliksik or nagre-research about sa topic para malaman nila kung ano ang ibig sabihin nito. At para makahanap din sila ng information na madadagdag nila sa knowledge nila. 5. Blended learning. Combine face-to-face instruction with online learning for greater flexibility. Pinagsasama-sama nito ang traditional classroom at online learning para mas flexible ito dahil pwedeng matuto ang student sa school at gamit ang digital platforms na maaaring magbigay sa kanila ng kaalaman na magkakaroon sila ng sariling opinion about sa tinuturo mo. Kaya mahalaga ang online platforms. At ganun din ang face-to-face classes upang malaman natin kung ano nga ba or natututo ba ang mga estudyante sa topic na ating dinidiscuss sa kanila. 6. Experiential learning. Student learn through hands-on activities and real-life experiences. Mas natututo ang isang student kapag sila mismo ang gumagawa ng activities or nararanasan nila ng actual situation kaysa puro lecture lang. Kasi mas na-adapt ang sarili nila na gawin ng isang bagay kung naranasan nila ito na madali nilang malalaman, ganito pala ang gagawin natin. Kailangan maranasan muna nila ang actual situation para mas mabilis silang makagawa or makakuha ng info about sa gagawin. Number 7. Personalized learning. Learning as tailored to each student's needs, interests, and learning phase. Ang learning ay ina-adjust ayon sa kakayahan at learning style ng bawat student. Dahil magkakaiba ang student, mayroong student na mabilis, makagets ng topic, at mayroon namang student na mabagal. Kaya mas nagiging effective ang pagkatuto kung kaya nating i-adjust or maaaring i-adjust base sa learning style ng bawat students. Learning strategies. Number 1. Active learning. Students engage in discussions, activities, and hands-on tasks instead of only listening. Ang students ay active sa discussion at iba't ibang activities. Hindi sila passive listener, kaya mas naiintindihan nila ang lesson dahil nakikipag-participate sila at active silang kakatugon. Number 2. Self-directed learning. Students take responsibility for setting goals and managing their own learning. Dito, ang students ay nagpaplano at nagmamanage ng kanilang pag-aaral. Halimbawa na lang sa time. Kailangan nilang ng time management dahil sa sabay-sabay na gawain, kailangan nilang maset or mapagplanuhan para hindi sila mag-cram or magmadali. Dahil dito natututo silang maging independent at maging isang responsible student. Number 3. Critical thinking. Students analyze information carefully before making decision or conclusion. Siyempre bilang estudyante, kailangan din nating paganahin ang ating critical thinking sa mga bagay-bagay. Kailangan muna nating mag-isip bago gumawa ng desisyon dahil alam naman natin kung ano ang tama at mali. Dahil nga nasa saktang edad at gulang tayo. Kaya kailangan natin mag-isip bago gumawa ng desisyon or ng conclusion. Nang sa gayon, malaman natin kung ano ba ang tama at mas magandang gawin natin. 4. Problem solving. Students apply knowledge and skills to find effective solution to challenges. Ginagamit ng students ang kanilang natutunan upang makahanap ng tamang solusyon sa iba't ibang problema o sitwasyon. Number 5. Reflective learning. Students evaluate their learning experiences to improve future performance. Nagre-reflect ang students sa kanilang mga natutunan at experiences para malaman kung nag-i-improve ba sila or may natututunan ba sila bilang estudyante. 6. Cooperative learning. Students work with classmates to achieve shared learning objectives and support one another. Bilang estudyante sa pag-aaral, dapat nagtutulungan sila upang maabot ang isang learning goal. Siyempre, bilang estudyante, tinuturing mo na din silang bilang kapatid. Kaya kailangan, pag nahihirapan ng isang students, kailangan turuan nung nakakaalam para nang sa gayon maiangat or lumebel up para maabot nga nila ang learning goal na tinatawag. Number 7. Technology-enhanced learning. Students use digital tools and online resources to improve learning and collaboration. Ginagamit ang teknolohiya tulad ng laptops, smartphones, educational apps, at online platforms upang gawing mas interactive at accessible ang pag-aaral. Role of technology in education. Technology in education enhance learning through online platforms, educational apps, video lessons, and AI, making education more accessible, interactive, and flexible. Pinapakita dito na kung paano nakakatulong ang technology sa education dahil sa online platforms, educational apps, video lesson at AI, mas madali nang mag-aral at mas maraming resources ang pwedeng gamitin. Student can learn anytime and anywhere, kaya mas flexible at mas engaging na ang learning kumpara dati. Challenges in modern learning. Despite the benefits of technology, learner may face limited internet access, lack of gadgets, digital distraction, and different learning needs, which can affect learning. Kita natin ang mga challenges sa modern learning. Hindi lahat ng student ay may stable na internet o sariling gadgets. Ang iba mahina ang signal kaya hindi sila nakakasabay sa or nahihirapan silang sumabay sa lesson. Mayroon ding distraction tulad ng social media at games na nakakaapekto sa focus ng isang student kasi na-addict sila or dun nila tinutuon ang kanilang oras. Hindi na sila nakakakain, hindi na sila nakakagawa ng mga activities na maaaring maging mababa ang score nila or grado bilang estudyante. Dahil doon nakakaapekto ito or nagkakaroon sila ng sakit dahil nga di na sila nakakapag-focus or na ng kanilang katawan at pag-aaral. Dahil sa iba-iba ang learning style ng bawat student, kailangan din ng iba't ibang approach sa pagtuturo ng guro upang nang sa gayon matuto at magkaroon ng kaalaman ang student at hubugin silang mag-aral ng mabuti. Importance of the changing learning landscape. The changing learning landscape helps learners develop 21st century skills, promotes lifelong learning, and prepares them for future careers. Ito ay tungkol sa kung bakit importante ang changing learning landscape. Habang nagbabago ang edukasyon dahil sa technology at bagong paraan ng pagtuturo, kailangan din mag-adapt ang students. Dahil dito, nade-develop ang important skills natin tulad ng critical thinking, communication at problem solving. It also encourages us to keep learning even after school para maging ready tayo sa future careers. In conclusion, education continues to change because of technology and society. Learning environments, teaching methods, and learning strategies continue to improve to help students learn better. As a future educators, we should be open to new ways of teaching and support learners in achieving success. Any question? Thank you everyone for listening. I hope you learned something from my presentation. If you have any question, I'll be happy to answer them. Bye-bye!